We just got an allegation, and it turns out 100%, or maybe 100%, that Lizzo may be at fault. Jokes aside, have you heard about the serious allegations against the artist Lizzo? Lizzo is currently facing charges from her former and current employees that are horrendous. They include sexual harassment and bullying. Hi, I'm Moshe Rubenstein from Roller Rubenstein, your local law firm fighting every day for employees just like you that may have been discriminated against in the workplace. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the allegations that Lizzo, the famous recording artist, is facing. Several of Lizzo's employees have made horrendous allegations against her. As recently as September of 2023, Asha Daniels, a former employee of Lizzo's, alleged that while on tour, she faced sexual harassment and bullying. The complaint does not only make allegations against Lizzo herself, but also against the tour company, her manager, her wardrobe stylist, and her production company. The complaint alleges that Ms. Daniels' direct supervisor created a hostile work environment for her and the other dancers, aiming to, and I'm quoting now, humiliate, degrade, alienate, and in some cases, fire the black female performers. According to Daniels, the dancers were subjected to little or no privacy while changing backstage. Predominantly white male members of Lizzo's entourage were either in close proximity or nearby as the ladies were changing. The lawsuit also, very disturbingly, alleges that the management team allowed racial discrimination to go on. Ms. Daniels and others state that white members of the staff were treated differently than them and even called them lazy or unprofessional. There are various allegations in this lawsuit. To better educate yourself on the types of discrimination, please watch my other videos. In this video, we're going to focus on two allegations in the lawsuit: sexual harassment and racial discrimination. Under Florida law, sexual harassment includes activity, whether it's touching, texting, being spoken to, whether that's on the phone or to the face, in a way and manner that is inappropriate and makes the individual feel ill at ease. It can also involve quid pro quo, which means asking for sexual favors in exchange for something else, whether that's job placement, a bonus, or perhaps time off. Sexual discrimination can occur either at the hiring process or after someone is hired. Someone may apply for a job which they are qualified for, but perhaps a rude or ugly comment is made that makes them feel that they need to do, say, or dress a certain way in order to get that job. That would be sexual discrimination. Or perhaps they've already been hired and their boss makes an inappropriate joke to them about the length of their skirt or their hair or their makeup. Or perhaps a woman is sexually discriminating against a man, telling him that he needs to take her out in order to get that bonus. All of these are types of sexual discrimination that happen, but they are not the only examples of sexual discrimination. Let's move on to the other serious allegation of racial discrimination. Racial discrimination occurs when someone is treated unfairly due to their race, their national origin, their skin color, or even the type of hair that they have. So perhaps they're not being hired because of their hair color, or perhaps they're not getting a bonus due to their skin color, or perhaps they're being asked to do duties that other members of the team are not being asked to do simply based on their race. Again, these are only examples of racial discrimination, but unfortunately it can happen in many other ways. As I've noted in other videos, racial discrimination can even happen when both the offender and the offended are of the same race. So if Lizzo's accusers are the same race as Lizzo, that does not mean that racial discrimination did not take place. Were these women treated unfairly, either due to their skin color or due to their gender? That is what the court has to determine. I also want to talk about shaming and bullying for a moment. While they might be buzzwords that your children come home with, they are very real abuses that happen in everyday society. People are either shamed for their weight, for their eye color, for perhaps the way that they walk. If any of these dancers or any professionals on Lizzo's team were bullied for who they are, they might very well have a claim that can hold up in court. So, what should an employee do if they have been harassed, abused, or discriminated at work? The very first thing that they need to do is report it. I get asked all the time, but if I report it, I'm going to lose my job. And I tell people all the time, retaliation is illegal, and therefore you would have a claim on top of your original claim. Document. That's number 2. That means if you have text messages of inappropriate sexual advances, if you have emails in which you are bullied, photograph, video, phone calls, save all of that. The reason it's important that you document and save the evidence is that very likely when you go to file a claim, it's going to be asked of you, either by the lawyers or by the state or federal commissions, what evidence you have that supports your allegations. Save your information. And thirdly, seek the help of a legal professional. Call me. Call a trusted employment attorney that has seen this type of discrimination before and has the wherewithal to fight for you. Let's go through those 3 again. Report it, document it, call a legal professional. And I want to speak again about retaliation because I know that's what's keeping many of you from making a claim. Retaliation by your employer or by your coworkers is strictly enforced. If you have allegations of discrimination against you, which you bring to HR, and you are retaliated against, your employer has just made their problem way more difficult for them to solve. When you don't bring your complaints forward, whether it's to HR or the authorities or to your attorney, you allow the behavior to continue. Remember that you're not only fighting for your dignity, you're fighting for your ability to provide for your family, and you're fighting for the person that comes after you, or perhaps your coworker next to you, who is also too afraid to say something. Unfortunately, it's commonplace that if you're being abused, someone else at the company is also being abused. Look at the case with Lizzo. One woman came out, another one came forward, and now multiple women have come forward with the same allegations. All it takes is one person to speak up to prevent this from happening again. If you feel you've been discriminated at work, either due to your age, your gender, your race, or your sex, if your boss is harassing you, if your coworkers are harassing or bullying you, you must speak up. Call me today. Let's see if I can help you. All of us are watching Lizzo's case not only because of the entertainment factor, but also because we want to see whether or not backup dancers can bring a claim against an international music star. It's the little guy versus the big guy. Who's in your corner to fight for you? The answer is me. My team is standing by, ready to fight for you. Chances are we've seen this type of thing before, and while perhaps we haven't met you, we know what to do for you. We know how to fight back. We know how to bring those allegations to the court so that not only is your dignity restored, but you are compensated for the wrong that has happened to you. Have you been denied a job? Have you been denied benefits? Are you being denied a promotion? Either because you wouldn't give a sexual favor or because of your gender? Are you being mistreated? Don't let it continue to happen. Call us today. I want to remind you that I put out videos like this to educate the public on what their rights are. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe below. Look at our library and see if there's something there that speaks to you. Roland Rubenstein, where you matter, results matter.